everybody, welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make some blueberry streusel muffins. So blueberry muffins with some streusel topping. Very simple recipe. I've done blueberry muffins in the past and they turned out very well. So this is basically the same recipe but with a streusel topping on the top. Slight little differences but basically the same. And we start off by preheating the oven to 190 Celsius. That's 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit. And we need to line a 12-hole muffin tin with paper cases. I've got some reasonably large paper cases like this, but the small ones will be fine. These muffins should be quite large. You could actually reduce the volume that you put into the paper cups and make more than 12. You could probably go up to 15 or 16, but I'm going to stick with 12. So that's the preparation, and then we'll go on to the ingredients. And for the muffins themselves, I have 375 grams, which is 2.5 cups of plain flour. That's based on 150 grams per cup. I have the zest of a small lemon. I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a pinch of salt. 2 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. 200 grams, 1 cup of caster sugar. 225 grams, actually this is 230 grams, which is about 2 cups of blueberries. I have 113 grams, which is 1 stick of softened butter, and I have 250 millilitres of natural yogurt. Now you could use semi-skimmed milk, you could use whole milk, you could use buttermilk, creme fraiche, sour cream, any of those things would work, but I have a more natural yogurt than I actually need, so I'm going to use that and it will work fine. And then for the streusel topping, I have 50 grams, which is 1/3 of a cup of plain flour, and into that I've put about 1/4 to 1/2 a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. That's for flavour, you can adjust that as you wish. I have 50 grams, which is 1/4 of a cup of soft light brown sugar. You could use dark brown sugar if you wanted to. And I have 3 tablespoons, 42 grams of butter, which is still cold or cool. It's been out of the fridge for a few minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is to make the streusel topping, then we can set that aside. And for that I'm going to put the flour, the cinnamon and the sugar into a bowl, and I'm going to just mix them around like that, and then I'm going to rub the butter in between my fingers until I have a crumbly type of texture. You could use a couple of knives if you wanted to, or you could use a pastry cutter, whatever you want to do. So that's fairly crumbly now, and so I'm just going to set that to one side, and we'll go on to make the muffin batter. And so I'm going to put my butter and my sugar into the bowl, and you can do this by hand. You can rub cream the butter into the sugar entirely by hand because it's very soft, but I'm going to use my hand mixer. And I'm actually going to put the lemon zest in at exactly the same time. and just cream those together. So that's creamed together, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the eggs one at a time and mix those to get those combined. And then I'm going to put the salt and the baking powder into my flour, and I'm just going to give that a little stir around, and then I'm going to add about half of that into the batter, and then I'm going to put the natural yogurt in, or it would be the milk or whatever you want to use. So that's in, so the yogurt can go in as well. And I'll mix that in, and then I'll add the other half of the flour. I'm just going to finish that off with a spatula. So I'm just going to fold that in, going down to the bottom to get up the moist mixture at the bottom there. And then I'm going to fold in the blueberries as well. And that's ready then to go into our muffin cases. And for that I'm going to use an ice cream scoop and divide it evenly. It will take more than one scoop per case, I think, but we'll do one at first. So that's fairly evenly distributed between the cups. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the streusel topping over the top. And it's going to separate and spread as the muffins rise, but it doesn't matter. It's just to give an extra texture and flavour. And then, with that sprinkled over, I'm going to put those into the oven and I'm going to bake them for about 30 to 35 minutes until I can test them with a skewer in the centre and it comes out clean. Then I take them out and I'm going to remove them from the pan after 2 minutes and put them on a wire rack and allow them to cool down completely. And once they've cooled completely, I'll come back and show you the results. I baked the muffins for 33 minutes and tested them with a skewer and they came out clean. So I took them out and I've allowed them to cool down. They're almost completely cool, but not quite. I've taken one out of a paper case and this is what they look like. So they bake very nicely. The streusel has worked quite well on the top. So I'll have a taste of this one. The muffin texture is very nice and light and flavourful. And the sweetness of the blueberries is very, very good, and the top is quite crunchy. It has a very nice texture and that extra little bit of sweetness, of course. So these are very easy to make, very quick to make as well, really, and they taste very good. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to the recipe, and I'll put a link for the recipe below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.